Published, 9:14 Eastern Daylight Saving Time, the 30th of March, 2019. Updated, 9:14 Eastern Daylight Saving Time, the 30th of March, 2019. The investigation into a fatal plane crash in Ethiopia has zeroed in on suspicion that a faulty sensor triggered an automated anti-stall system, sending the plane into a dive. The Federal Aviation Administration received black box flight data from Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302 on Thursday, indicating that the MCAS anti-stall system was activated shortly before the crash. The same system was implicated in the crash of another Boeing 737 MAX in October in Indonesia, Lion Air Flight 610. The MCAS is designed to push the nose of the plane down when sensors indicate that the angle of attack is too steep, and the plane in danger of stalling, but investigators are now probing whether a faulty sensor activated the system during a normal climb, sources say. The FAA received black box flight data from Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302 on Thursday, indicating that the MCAS anti-stall system was activated before the crash. Above. The MCAS system is a central focus of the investigation into why two Boeing 737 MAX airplanes crashed in the span of 5 months. The system is meant to prevent going into a stall. Data pulled from the Ethiopian Airlines flight recorder suggests the MCAS system had been activated before the jet plowed into a field outside Addis Ababa on March 10, killing all 157 aboard, a person briefed on the matter said. However, the source said the investigation is still underway and the findings are not yet definitive. Boeing and the FAA declined to comment on the finding, which was first reported by The Wall Street Journal. Ethiopian authorities have promised to submit the preliminary report on Flight 302 by mid-April, but have already said that there are clear similarities between the two 737 MAX crashes. It was yet another blow to aviation giant Boeing, which just this week unveiled a fix to the Maneuvering Characteristics Augmentation System, MCAS, that Boeing designed to prevent stalls in its new plane. The same system was implicated in the crash of another Boeing 737 MAX in October in Indonesia, Lion Air Flight 610. Wreckage above. The aviation company has tried to restore its battered reputation, even while continuing to insist that the MAX is safe. The MCAS, which lowers the aircraft's nose if it detects a stall or loss of airspeed, was developed specifically for the 737 MAX, which has heavier engines than its predecessor, creating aerodynamic issues. The initial investigation into the October Lion Air crash in Indonesia, which killed all 189 people on board, found that an angle of attack (AOA) sensor failed but continued to transmit erroneous information to the MCAS. The pilot tried repeatedly to regain control and pull the nose up, but the plane crashed into the ocean. Flight track of the doomed Ethiopian Airlines flight, which also crashed minutes after takeoff, was very similar to Lion Air, indicating there was very possibly a link between the two flights, FAA Acting Chief Daniel Elwell told Congress this week. The FAA grounded the MAX fleet worldwide, but not until 2 days after most countries had done so. That delay, along with an FAA policy allowing Boeing to certify some of its own safety features, has raised questions about whether regulators are too close to the industry. Elwell denied the agency was lax in its oversight, saying, the certification process was detailed and thorough. He also seemed to cast doubt on the MCAS as the clear culprit, saying that data collected from 57,000 flights in the U.S. since the MAX was introduced in 2017 revealed not a single reported MCAS malfunction. The family of 31-year-old Jackson Musoni, a Rwandan citizen who died in the Ethiopian Airlines accident, filed a lawsuit against Boeing on Thursday in a court in Chicago, where the company has its corporate headquarters. The suit accuses the aircraft manufacturer of designing a defective system. Stephen Marks, the lawyer for Musoni's family, said information from the recent tragedies, as well as pilot reports, made it crystal clear that the cause of these two crashes are the same. There's no question that MCAS was the problem, and that pilots were not aware of the system, he told AFP. U.S. pilots complained after the Lion Air crash that they had not been fully briefed on the system. Musoni was among at least 22 United Nations employees killed in the Ethiopian crash. Boeing also declined to comment on the lawsuit, but this week unveiled changes to the MCAS system that will be installed worldwide once the FAA approves. Southwest Airlines Boeing 737 MAX aircraft are parked on the tarmac after being grounded at the Southern California Logistics Airport in Victorville, California on Thursday. Among the changes long in the works, the MCAS will no longer repeatedly make corrections when the pilot tries to regain control, and the company will install a warning feature, at no cost, to alert pilots when the left and right AOA sensors are out of sync. The company also is revising pilot training, including for those already certified on the 737, to provide enhanced understanding of the 737 MAX flight system and crew procedures. On Friday, Southwest Airlines was pulling its 737 MAX jets from flight schedules through May, extending its earlier timeline from April 20, according to a company memorandum. This will impact the lines in May, but now that the decision has been made, we can construct our schedule without those flights well in advance in hopes to minimize the daily disruptions, the Southwest Airlines Pilots Association and the company said in the joint memorandum.